Hi guys, my name is Aksan Reddy from Design Plus Code. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to create a smart home app from scratch in Figma. I will show you how to add top navigation with the icon and an avatar here. And here, I will show you how to create this weather widget. I will show you how to create this asymmetric control with two controllers. And we will also build this cart with a switch button when it's inactive and active. Then we will create this custom tab bar, this amazing button here. The second page, we will build this thermostat device. We're going to use Ellipse and Art to create this progress bar. And we will use a stroke dash to create those lines. We will create also this button drop down and this sample card with icon. We will also create this beautiful button when it's inactive and one is active. This is my Figma community project that you can duplicate. Okay, once it's done, you can just create a new page that you can start from this page so that you can follow my tutorial, so that you can use color style and text style to follow this tutorial. In this tutorial, you will need iOS 15 UI kit from the Figma community. I recommend downloading the iOS UI kit from Joy Banks. Just click on the duplicate button and even open directly in the draft. In my design, I use F symbol. For those who new at it, I will share the link so that you can download and install it for your project. Also, in my design, I use this free smart home icon set from Alexander. You can search for smart home icon and you will see a list. You can choose the one that you like. For my smart home app, I use image from this website called Unsplash. You can search for home interior and they have different category and you search for the image that you want to use in your design. They also have a plugin in Figma. Let's create a new project in Figma. Click on New Design File. I want to note that in this part, you don't need to create a new project file. Just continue with the last section that we created in the design system, because for those who can't use a library, you're going to need a design system on the same project as your iOS app. Now let's create a frame. Press on the X key. And this one. Let's set dimension of 1600 by 1200. From the bottom of this frame, click on this section. This is for the corner radius. I will set it for 50. Now let's go to Fill panel. I will set the color for A7, AA, BA. Now let's add a frame for the first frame. For me, I'm going to use the iPhone 13 Pro. Press on A, choose iPhone 13. Let's center it, alignment, horizontal center, alignment, vertical center. All right, I'm going to use the hex color EFF1, F5. Let's add a corner radius of 50. Now let's name this frame. Let's call it Home. All right, let's import top navigation from iOS UI kit from the community. For those who have a library, they are already published. You can search on your asset, like here, search. For those who don't have a library or don't have a professional team, what we could do is copy the main component directly from its page. For example, I select on this one. Let's copy the component. Press and Command C for copy. Let's go back in New Project in Figma. Now let's paste in my design. Command V to paste. Let's go to the top and the design section. Let's center it from horizontal and let's position it from the top. Select on notch. I'm just gonna hide the notch. I don't need it. The extra, let's hide it for now. Layout grid, we don't need, we can delete it. So select home. Go to right panel. Let's check this clip content. It's like creating a mask for you. I'm just going to work on this one. For this title, I don't need, just hide. Left accessory, I will hide this icon that I don't need. And let's go to the right panel on the auto layout. Click on the padding on the left, set it to 30. Let's change the title from home. Let's use bold title one. Label color is black. On the right accessory, I will change the padding for 16. I will add a frame. Let's set dimension for 36 by 36. Let's set the corner radius for 10. Let's add linear gradient. For the first color is DBE0E7. For the second color, let's add FAFBFF. Let's set it for 100%. Let's tilt a little bit from the left. Now let's add a drop shadow. Go to Effects, choose Drop Shadow. The value of X is 4. Same with the Y. Let's set the value for blue 10. Hex color is 3B4056. 10%. For this title, I will move inside this frame. Text element center. I will change the title for SF symbol. So let's open a SF symbol. Search for gear. I will choose this one. Command C for copy. So just Command V to paste. Let's change the label color from secondary. I noticed that we have drop shadow here that I don't want. It's from here. I'm going to delete it. Okay, now let's duplicate this layer. Instead of home, let's change the text for family member. It's born title tree and color system is label secondary. On the right accessory, we'll change this frame like this. So I won't use drop shadow. I won't use this color. Let's add ellipse. Press on Shift to create a perfect circle. I will set the size for 27. Let's align this ellipse from the right. For this SF symbol, I won't need it, so I'm just going to delete it. Let's go to Fill panel. Let's add a picture. It's going to be the avatar, the picture of the member of your family. Choose her. I will add stroke. I will add 2 thickness outside, and we use the same color as the background. So for the color, we can use the dropper. We can clone the same color as the background. Now let's add the second. Just duplicate. Press and hold on Shift key Then click on the left arrow twice. So I move off 20 pixels. So let's change the picture. Use her. Okay. Let's duplicate this avatar. Command D to duplicate. Let's move for 20 pixels. Press on Shift arrow key. 1, 2. Change the avatar. Same thing for this one. Duplicate. Move by 20 pixels. Alright. For the extra, I don't need just the. I will use spacing for 10. Okay. For it's fine. Alright, done for the top navigation. Let's create a weather widget. Let's add the dimension of 329 by 106. Let's center the frame from vertical. Let's add a linear color. Go to the right fill panel. Click square to choose the color. Click on the first square, then set the color for 985 EE1. Click on the second square and set the color of 52556. I will tilt it to the left. Often set the corner radius for 22. Let's call it the weather widget. Let's create another frame inside this frame. Let's set dimension for 209 by 105. Let's count it right. Let's add a title. I will name it My Location. For the weather widget, I will use a text style manually. For this title, I use a font Asset Pro Display Bold 22, and I use white color. Text element is left. I will use auto width and align top. Under my location, I'm going to write Montreal. Select Montreal, then change the font for Sans Pro text. 13. Regular. Let's use hex color. EBEBF5. I'm going to change the opacity 60%. Add the frame for the dimension of 194 by 38. Create a frame of 18 by 18. I want to create a warning sign here. So let's open offset symbol and search for a warning offset symbol. Let's copy this symbol, click on Command C, go back to Figma and paste here. Let's change the font size for 13. Then let's go to the top. Let's position it center. Let's add another text under the warming sign. Let's write partly cloudy. Now let's select on frame 2, then go to the right panel, click on the padding, change this left value for 16, then change the top value to 7. Same for the bottom. Next, for constraint, I will use fix top and your content. Afterwards, select frame 3. Then for constraint, choose thin container and fix side. Next, we will align the text to the left. Let's select frame 4. Then let's name it warning. I use the font SF Pro Text 13. Let's use hex color EBEBF5. Then let's change the opacity of 60%. Let's change the font for red color. It's missing an icon here. So let's open the absent symbol and search for weather. I will use this one. Command C for copy. Back to Figma, then paste here. Let's add spacing between. Let's select this symbol, then go to Fill panel. Let's set this color for white. I will hide this symbol because we're not going to use now. Let's create a frame of 120 by 105. Let's add auto layout. Let's use padding. Top and bottom are 10, left and right are 16. I will add a temperature of -10 degrees. I use the font SF Pro Display 48 light. Let's use the color white. I use text alignment right, auto width, and align top. Alright, let's add a temperature. Select this text, click on Command C for copy, then click on this frame 4, press on Command V to paste. So this frame 4. Spacing is 24. I use padding left and right 16, top and bottom 10. Constraint I will use right. I will use fixed side top. Alright, let's change this text. High is 2 degrees. Low is -12 degrees. Let's add space here. Now let's create a segmented control. Let's start with the frame. Let's set the dimension of 329 by 32. Let's align center from the horizontal. Let's add color. The EE2E7. Let's add the corner radius for 10. And then go to the bottom, let's add stroke. And choose linear. The first one is going to be white. The opacity of 50%. The second color is F1, F4, F6. Now let's go to Effect panel. Let's add inner shadow. For the blur, let's set the value for 10. Spread 1. Let's change the color for 41455D. The opacity of 10%. Let's fix the stroke. Move a little to the left. Thickness is 1 and it's going to be from the outside. Alright. And the spacing between the two is going to be 30. Now let's add another frame inside. Let's call this segmented control. Dimension is going to be 162 by 28. Color is white. Let's set the corner radius for 8. Use Option key to see the guideline. To left to top bottom. I will add a stroke. Black with the opacity of 5% from the outside. Thickness of 0.5. Now let's go add effects. Choose drop shadow. Blur, I will set the value for 6. Y for 2. Color is black and the opacity is 10%. Let's add a second drop shadow. Blur is 2, Y is 2. It's going to be black with opacity of 4%. Now let's add a text. Let's call it room. Let's change the font. Okay, I'll choose bold footnote. Text alignment is center. Align horizontal, center, and vertical. Now let's duplicate this frame. I will align from the right. Use option to select guideline. Same spacing, yes. For this one, I don't need this. Nope. Let's hide for now. And this text, let's change it for device. Color I will change for secondary. Let's hide this effect. Let's hide a drop shadow and a stroke. Alright, we are done with the segmented control. What we need in this section. For my smart home app, I use image from this website called Unsplash. You can search for home interior and they have different category and you search for the image that you want to use in your design. They also have a plugin in Figma. Now let's create card. Alright, let's start by create a frame. Let's set the dimension of 155 by 133. Let's add the color and fill here. Set color for F4, F7, FV. Corner width is 22. Let's add stroke. I'll use white 50%, one thickness and outside. Now let's go to effects. Let's add some drop shadow. Click on this icon. Let's change the value of Y to 20 and the blur to 40. Let's change the hex colors. It will be 3, B, 4, 0, 5, 6, 50%. Let's position the card. Select on this frame. Press on Option key to guide. I want spacing between 30. And here's be 30 for now. Now let's add another frame inside. Let's set dimension of 155 by 120. Alignment from left and top. From here, let's search for the image. Click on Fill, search for image. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to use for master bedroom. Alright, inside this frame, I will add another frame. The size is going to be 22 by 22. Let's add fill, black 10%. We'll add effect, choose background blur. Set the value for 10. Let's add the corner radius about 20. Now let's add more icon. Here I will choose access symbol. Search for more. The one from access symbol, they don't have the one that I want. I'm not going to use access symbol. I will use from shape. I will choose this one. Shape is a desktop app created by the team of Design Plus Code. You can search on the Figma community. There's a lot of lists of icons that is free for you to use. Now let's create card. Alright, let's start by create a frame. Let's set the dimension of 155 by 133. Let's add the color and fill here. Set color for F4, F7, FV. Corner width is 22. Let's add stroke. I'll use white 50%, one thickness and outside. Now let's go to effects. Let's add some drop shadow. Click on this icon. Let's change the value of Y to 20 and the blur to 40. Let's change the hex colors. It will be 3, B, 4, 0, 5, 6, 50%. Let's position the card. Select on this frame. Press on Option key to guide. I want spacing between 30. And here's be 30 for now. Now let's add another frame inside. Let's set dimension of 155 35 by 120. Alignment from left and top. From here, let's search for the image. Click on Fill, search for image. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to use for master bedroom. Alright, inside this frame, I will add another frame. The size is going to be 22 by 22. Let's add fill, black 10%. We'll add effect, choose background blur, set the value for 10. Let's add the corner radius about 20. Now let's add more icon. Here I will choose as a symbol. Search for more. The one from as a symbol, they don't have the one that I want. I'm not going to use as a symbol. I will use from shape. I will choose this one. Shape is a desktop app created by the team of Design Plus Code. You can search on the Figma community. There's a lot of lists of icons that is free for you to use. All right. The dimension is going to be 35 by 31. Inside this frame, let's add another frame. It's going to be 51, 31. Let's align from the right. I will set the corner radius about 20. Add fill. I'm going to use linear. The first color is going to be C9, C, E, D7. The second color is going to be E1, E, A, F1. Okay, let's add effects. Choose inner shadow, no blur on this one, 0, and the value of Y is minus 0.5. Color is use white 100%. Alright, now inside this frame, let's create a node. Create another frame. First, let's create an ellipse. Press O key. Press on Shift to create a perfect circle. Let's change the size of 27. Press on Option key to see the red guideline. So let's set the spacing between for 2 pixels. Let's add linear gradient for this one. The first color is going to be 985 E1. Let's add the second color. F25656. Let's set for 100. Let's set the value for 100%. Afterward, let's use a stroke. Use linear. Top's going to be white, 100%. The second color is black and 100%. I will use overlay. And let's use 50%. Takes like one inside, it's fine. Now let's add some drop shadow. The X value is 1, the Y value is 4, and the blur I will set it for 8. The hex color is going to be 6D222B, 30%. Let's name it switch. So I will add frame. Let's write on. The text style is going to be one headline, and the color system is labeled like secondary. Text alignment from the left. For this one, let's add auto layout. I will align from the center and I'll use space between. Much better. Alright, we finished the first card. This frame I will name it image. Alright, we finished with the first card, and now we're going to duplicate this card. Click on row layer, about 20. Okay, they have already good spacing for me, and we are just going to change this switch to off. And this one I want the inactive. Alright, For this text, I will change for off. The label color is going to be tertiary. Now let's change this style. First color is gonna be VVE0E7. Second color FAFBFF. Afterward, let's add a stroke. FIFAFE. Second color is BDC4D1. For blending mode, I will use normal. It's one thickness and it's inside. Tilt it to the left. Let's add a drop shadow. AE9BAE. It's gonna be 20%. X value is 1. Y value is 2. Blur set it to 8. Alright, the first row is finished. Now duplicate this row. I'm just going to select those 2 layers and let's go to the right panel. Let's add auto layout. Okay, this one I will use spacing of 10. Leave some space that we can see some shadow here. And then what we have to do is just change those images and change the text. Alright, it's done. So I finished my file. For this switch, I changed title here. Instead of frame, I name it switch. And let's organize our file a little bit. This one, I will call it card. For the constraint, I will use top center. For segment control, top center. With it, widget, top center. Top navigation, it's gonna be top, left, and right. Alright, that's all for today. Let's get started. Now let's create a tab bar. Let's create a frame. Change the dimension of 88. The width is fine, so I will position it at the bottom. Let's add effects. Background blur. I will set the value of 40. Fill color is white with 0%. Let's create a rectangle about 164 by 88 and press on edit mode. Click on this button, or you can just press on return key to edit. You see points here for editing. Let's move it for 60 pixels. I press on shift key, then click the left arrow to make a jump of 10 pixels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, from here is fine. Let's press on command to bend. Okay, now I create a curve. This is a handle. I'll just move it and make a straight line. When you see a red line, that means it's straight. And click on this point. I want the X position for 56. And bottom right, click on the point, press on command, then click to bend. Okay, now the top handle. Let's move it from the left and make a straight line like this. Okay, this position is fine, and click on this handle point. Okay, here's why I'll just move this number because I like round number. Okay, now let's add a linear. Go and fill paddle and click on linear. The first color is going to be this one. I will use Ctrl C for a dropper. Second color is going to be this one. Use Ctrl C to use a dropper. And then I will add a drop shadow. Go to Effects, Drop Shadow, set Y value of 0.5, blur 0, gonna be white, 30% opacity. Change white value for minus 0.5. Inner shadow it's 0.5, 0 blue, and the hex color it's black of 25%. Let's duplicate this shape. Press on Command D and right click in your mouse. Search for flip horizontal and then align to the right. Alright, let's add the ellipse. Press on Command, press on Shift to create a perfect circle. I want the dimension of 84. I want to put it outside this frame. Okay, white position is 737, center. And now let's add a linear. The first color is going to be this one, and the second color is going to be this one, with the opacity of 20%. And then I will add effects, background blur, it's 20. Alright, now add a stroke. Use a linear color. The first color is going to be this one. The second color is going to be this one, or you can use a dropper from here. Alright, one thickness I will use from center. Okay, this one it's 0%. Second color is white. Okay, now let's add a inner shadow. X value is 0.3. Y value it's minus 0.5. It's white, opacity up 60%. Okay, and then let's add a drop shadow. X value is 5, Y value is 5, blur is 12. We change the hex color for AE9BAE with the opacity of 20. Afterwards, let's add a second ellipse. Press on Shift to create a perfect circle. Change the dimension for 60. I will align it from the center. But first, let's create a frame. Press on Option Command G to create a frame. And this circle I will add inside. I will name it Siri icon. Okay, now it's more easy to position it. It's going to be center, center. Okay, now add linear. The first color is going to be this one. The second color is going to be this one. Let's move these points to the left and this one a little bit to the right. Now I add a stroke. Let's use linear. The first one is white and the second color is going to be this one. Tilt left and right. Add inner shadow. You can click on Effects, inner shadow. X is 1, Y is 1, blur is 2, color is white with the opacity of 50%. Now I will add the drop shadow. Set the value of Y 9, blur it's 18, hex color it's this one, and I will change the 20% opacity. Alright, let's add another frame. First I will name this layer Ellipse 1. This is going to be Ellipse 2. Let's duplicate this one. I will name it Ellipse 3 Blur. Okay, this one let's delete. Instead of inner shadow, I will use layer blur. Change it for 5. We don't need stroke. Okay, let's change linear. The first one it's white with the opacity of 0. And the second is, I'm change it EF, F1, F5. When you hover over this layer, you will see an arc icon. Move the sweep from the top and you will see another 2 points. You will see the number here. You can play with the ratio to create a ring. This is the starting point. This is a sweep. But for example, I like to use round number. For the start, I will just use 0 degree, and here's going to be 100, it's fine. And I'm going to use 85%. All right, this is great. This one, I noticed this is too big. I'm going to use 0.2 inside. Now let's add another ellipse. Press on Shift to create a perfect circle. And the size is going to be 50. Let's center it. All right, let's add linear color. Okay, the first color is going to be this one. I use Ctrl+C to clone. And the bottom, second color is going to be this one. Okay, I will move a little bit from the left and right. Then add stroke. Let's add linear color. So the first one is D8, D8, D8 with the opacity of 0. The second color is white with 100%. Let's move a little bit from left and right. Okay, the thickness I will change it for 0.2 and it's going to be center. All right, finished the first look. And now what we have to do is import the icon. So for the icon, you can search on the accept symbol. Let's import icon from my tab bar. I will search in the asset that the one I already create as a component. I will use Siri. I will drag it here. Let's center from horizontal and vertical. And let's change the color. Click on symbol. It's gonna be linear. The first color is gonna be this purple. Ctrl+C to clone this color. Second color is gonna be this red. Okay, it's fine. Okay, let's move the points a little bit. All right, like this. Let's add a home icon here and profile icon here. Okay, the home button with the first rectangle, I will add a frame selection. You can press on Option Command G to create a frame. And now this goes inside this frame. I'm just going to use Option to guide. I want spacing 30 by 30 from the bottom. So it's going to be 14 from the top. And for this one also, let's select this icon and the second shape. Press on Option Command G. This one I will use Option to see the guideline. Okay. I will call it left. Constraint is going to be bottom left. This one, let's call it right. Constraint is going to be bottom right. For the Siri layer, select from the bottom center. And let's select those frames together and add our frame. Option Command G. And then constraint, I will add top, left, and right. For this one, I will use top, left, and right. Okay. Let's name it tab bar. For the tab bar, I will change the constraint for top, right, bottom. I'm just going to fix this a little bit. Is that the shape that I want? Press on Return key to edit. Click on this anchor point. Then select this handle. Set the X value for 125. Okay, it's fine. And this one, click on this point. Then select this handle, change it for 100. Let's copy this shape, Command C for copy, and here you can just paste, Command V to paste, then right click, flip horizontal, then just delete the old one. Alright, now it's better. Or we can flatten, Command E for flatten. It's done. From the last section, we complete the home screen. Now on this section, we're going to create the second screen, the thermostat. Let's duplicate this frame, Command D for duplicate. Let's move a little bit from here, spacing 100. Okay, I want to use group. It's better to align together, so let's center from the vertical. Align vertical center, delete what we don't need. I'm just going to keep the top navigation. For this row, I don't need hide for now. Display the center title. Go on left accessory, hide the left title, then display the chevron icon and hide this title. I will change the color for 3C3C43 with the opacity of 60%. This title, let's change it for thermostat. Okay, the top navigation is done. Now let's start with the thermostat device. Create an ellipse, press and O. Create a perfect circle and press and shift. Set dimension for 244. Position center from the horizontal. Position Y at 176. Go to the right panel, click and fill. I will add linear. The first color is going to be DEE2E7. The second color is DBE0E7. Okay, with 100%, I will move a little bit from the left and right. Afterward, let's add stroke. I will change for linear. First color is white with the opacity of 50%. Second color is F6, F1. Set it for 100%. Move a little bit left and right. Thickness is 1 and it's outside. Go to Effects. Let's start with inner shadow. Okay. Blur, I will set it for 8. White, I will set it for 3. Spread 1. Shadow is 14455D with 10% opacity. Now let's add drop shadow. I will set blur for 30. Value is 15. For shadow, I will change for AE9BAE. Change the opacity for 20. Now let's create a second ellipse. But first I'm going to create a frame. Let's insert a frame. Press on Option Command G. And then my circle is inside the frame. Create another ellipse. Let's change dimension of 220. Okay, let's center my ellipse from horizontal and vertical. Now, same thing. We're gonna add fill linear. Or we can use the color that I already prepared here. For the first color, it's gonna be this one, F5, F5, F9. I use a dropper to clone the color. And the second color is this one, E4, E8, EE. Move a little bit left and right. Now let's add stroke. I will add linear color. First color is white and the second color is this one. They have the same inclination like this. Thickness is 1 and it's from inside. Add effects, choose drop shadow, Y value for 31. and blur is gonna be 60. For shadow, I can use this color, so I will use Ctrl C to clone. Set the opacity up 20%. Add a second drop shadow. X is 0, Y is 8, and blur I will set it for 15. I will use the same hex color for the shadow. Press on Ctrl C to clone. Okay, let's change the opacity of 50%. Add a inner shadow. X value is 3, Y value is 3. And blur, I will set it 8. This color is going to be white with the opacity of 15. To see more detail. Add some light and shadow. Okay, now I want to add a progress bar. I will do it behind. I will name it Eclipse 1. It's going to be Eclipse 2. Okay, for Eclipse 2, I'm going to duplicate and I will make it smaller. Click on this icon for constraint proportion. Change the dimension for 200. Okay, this one I will name it progress bar. For this one I will move on the effects. And I hit stroke. Select your layer and mouse over it. You will see points that say odds. And you drag it a little bit here, and then you will see an option here that you can play with. So if you move like this, it's gonna create like a pie. And if you move the ratio, you will create like a kind of ring. And you can make it smaller or bigger. I prefer working with the number. It's more clean. I write round number. Okay, for start, I will use 0. Set sweep to 45. The ratio, I will set it to 90% thickness. Change color. I will use the same color as this one. Top is going to be 985E1. And the bottom, it's going to be red. It's F25656. My starting point is not where I want. It's 124. Okay. I want a corner radius here. Let's set the corner radius for 10. For this progress bar, I want to change the direction of my linear. I'll make a straight line. So you can press on Shift to make a perfect line for you. All right, let's add a circle again. Create an ellipse, press on O. This dimension is going to be 174. Center, horizontal and vertical. Add linear. Set the first color for DD E1 E7. Second color is FAFBFC with the opacity of 100%. On this one, I will incline from the left and right. Okay. All right. Change this English for 4. And then I will just duplicate this one. I will call it small eclipse. And I will change the dimension of 16. Let's move from here. Let's change the position. It's going to be 136 by 46. Then I will add another circle. Press on O. Set dimension of 266. Put inside the frame and let's send it. For the circle, I will paste it behind like this one. Now let's add stroke. I'm not going to use fill, I'll just close. Now go on this advanced setting. A stroke style, I will use dash. Dash I will use 2. Cap is 19. Dash cap it's none, and here it's 5. We don't need to touch anything. And now thickness I will use 10 thickness, and it's gonna be from the center. Let's change the stroke color. It's going to be BAC4CF. This is not what I want. I want half of it. So we're going to edit this ellipse. Press on return key or just click on this icon for edit. Delete this point. Click and delete. Voila. And then I will add some effect. Add in the shadow. White, I will set it for 1. No blur, 0. The color is AE9 BAE 50%. Now you see it's not perfect here. It's missing because of the stroke dash that we use. What you can do is create one manually. So what you can do is press on P, create a straight line of 10 pixels. Okay, I will change it for 10. And let's remove this. I like round number. Okay, we can use the same color as this one. Don't see to clone in the shadow and add 1. I'm going to add the same shadow color. It's AE9BAE 50%. Cool. I can just be and paste here. This one it's 298. This one's gonna be 298. Okay, so now we can move here. Okay, let's add a name for us project. It's Smart Home App. All right, let's add degrees for us thermostat. Let's add 10 degrees here. Change the text style. It's going to be sub headline regular. Use light ordinary. Press on option to see the guide. Add a spacing of 25. It's going to be aligned with this line. Duplicate this text. You can press on option key. When you see a double arrow, that means you can duplicate it and move it here. Press on option key to see the red guy. I want the spacing between 220. But first let's change it for 30 degrees. Okay. Or you can check from here so they don't have the same Y value. So let's move down. Alright, so I can just press on option key to duplicate this text and move here. Let's center it from the horizontal. Use option to guide 14, so here it's fine. Let's change this number. I will change this for 20 degrees. So my progress bar is stopping here. Okay, let's move a little bit like this. So it's gonna be 22, right? At 22 degrees inside. But first I will add a text. I use capital letters. Right heading. Change the text style for bold headline and label color is light secondary. Spacing I will set it 50. Okay, the 22 degrees I will do it manually because I want a bigger size, gonna be 54. I will change it for FZ Pro display. Change the color style for light ordinary. Spacing between I will set it for 12. Let's use recolor. Add inner shadow. X is 0, Y is 1.5, blur 1.5. The hex color is AE9BAE, 25%. Okay, let's change light height here and set it for 32, and latest spacing is going to be 0.29. Position from horizontal, add the icon. Okay, let's go to asset. I have already created a component. Use this one for echo. I will change this white color for green. It's 30db5b. It's center. Add a inner shadow. White it's 1.5. Blur it's 1.5. Color is black with the opacity of 60. I will add the blending mode, overlay. Okay, this one, instead of add degree, I will remove it. Let's align horizontal center. Now it looks better. The spacing in between, I will use 12. All right, we are done for this device. All right, guys, now let's add a drop-down button. First, let's create a frame. Press on A. Set dimension of 226 by 44. Set the corner radius for 22. Then let's add fill. Let's use linear color. The first one is going to be DEE2E7. The second color is going to be DBE0E7. I will incline a little bit from the left and right. This one I don't want to use opacity 0. Let's turn it for 100%. Now let's use stroke. I use linear again. First color is white with the opacity of 50%. Second color is F6, F1, 100%. I use one thickness and it's outside, teal from the left. And then I will add a inner shadow. I will just use blur, it's 10, Y it's 0. The color is going to be 4145 by 10%. Let's position this button. Let's align horizontal center, and the spacing between is set it for 40. Select these layers, then move them under this frame. Okay, first let's name this layer Thermostat. Let's call it button. Let's add text. It's going to be device 1. Change the text style from regular body, and label color is light secondary. Press on option key. When you see 2 arrows, that means you can drag. It's create a duplicate for you. A replica. Change for the chevron down. This icon, I search on SF symbol. I copy and then I apply on my design. Paste it here. Let's use spacing 16 from the right. Also use the same spacing for the left side, then center it. Now let's create temperature cut. Add a frame. Set the dimension 146 by 164. Let's use 22 corner radius. Add fill. The hex color is F4, F7, FB. Use stroke. Stroke is white with 50%. I use one thickness and it's going to be from the outside. For this corner radius, I will use the 3 dots here. Corner smoothing, I will use 100%. Alright, now let's add drop shadow. White value is 20, blur is 40. Hex color is 3B4056 and is 15%. Add an ellipse of 60. Dimension I will change is 144. Center horizontal spacing for the top 20. Much better. For the first circle, I will change the color for FFD0D0. I will search for my icon. I'll use this one for humidity. Alignment horizontal, center, and vertical. Select two frames together and press on Option Command G to create a frame. Once inside the frame, it's easier to center my icon. Align horizontal, center, and vertical. My icon, I will use the same color as my progress bar. I can just select this one and copy property. You can just right click on your mouse, copy path as copy property, or you can use Option Command C. Click on your icon, use Option Command V to paste. Like this. Okay, I will change for 50 opacity. Let's add text. Text alignment center. Let's write inside humidity. Change this text style from bold body. Let's change the label color for light secondary. Align horizontal center. I'm just going to duplicate this text. I press an Option and drag. Change the text for 49%. Humidity from my house. Spacing between, set it for 8. Alright, I'm done with the first card. Let's call it temp cards. And now I'm just going to duplicate this frame. Select those two layers, then group them, Command G. And now we can go add auto layout. Spacing, I will set it for 20. For the top, let's align horizontal center. Spacing between the button, set it for 30. This, use the same color as this one. I'm just going to copy style, Option Command C, and press on Option Command V to paste. But I want 20 opacity. I can change the icon from here. Instead of humidity, let's search for temperature. Okay, same color as this icon. Just going to select this icon, Option Command C to copy properties, and then select and this icon, Option Command V to paste. Okay, and change this text for outside temp. Change this text for 10 degrees. Alright guys, we are done with the cards. Let's create a button here. I will create some option. We can use the same button as this one. Just select on this frame. I can press on Option and you will see two arrows. That means you can duplicate by drag from here and release. Click on the first eclipse. Let's change the layer color. First color is gonna be 9989. Second color is white. For fill linear, I will change it for 40% opacity. No stroke, just delete this one. No inner shadow, no background blur. I will keep drop shadow. Change the value. Y is 4. Blur is 20. And the shadow, use 10%. I will change the size for this eclipse because all one is too big. Make sure that this icon is selected. Change for 46 and align center, horizontal, and vertical. Select this second ellipse, not this one. We can select from the layer here. I will change the size for 58. Alignment, center, horizontal, and vertical. Change the linear color. First color is D99AFE and the second color is BA3D4F. So for the stroke, the first color is going to be black with the opacity of 30%. The second color is black also with the opacity of 40%. I will use thickness of 1.5 and inside is fine. Okay, now for the Eclipse Tool, I will duplicate, and for this one, I will set it for a mask. Right click on your mouse, click on Use as Mask. We can delete those options. We don't need this one. We can keep. It's okay. Let's hide for now. Now this Eclipse. The size is 50 by 50. I will change the linear color. The first one is 985EE1. The second color is F25656. This one I will make a straight line. You can press on Shift to help make a straight line. I don't need the stroke, so just close. And the icon, change it for primary. But we're going to change the icon. I don't want this one. So I will search in the asset, the one that I already prepared as a component. Let's choose this one. So let's align center, horizontal, and vertical. All right, for this one, we're just going to delete it. This one, icon 25. Yes, 25 is fine for now. The height, let's use 726. All right, let's just group them together. And now I will add text inside. I will use capital letters, write mode. All right, let's change the text for bold, footnote. Label color is secondary. Select this layer together, then right click on your mouse, select on frame selection, and it create a frame for you. Let's name it icon. Select this text and this icon. Option Command G to create a frame. This one I will call it button. Use auto layout. I will use fixed size, gonna be 36. Padding is gonna be from the top center, and the text change for label. It's gonna be aligned from the center. Duplicate this frame, and then I can select those layers together and add auto layout. Click on plus. Okay, for this second button, I will change the style of this button. For the Eclipse one, it's fine. Eclipse 2, we will change the linear color. First color is F5, F9. The second color is BADE7. Thickness is 0.3 inside. Okay, there's no shadow, no inner shadow here. Now click on the blur that we hide from the last mention of. Make sure that it's selected. Change the size for 59. Alignment, center. We will keep the same property here. It's fine. We don't need to change anything. And here change for 2. Layer blur, I will change for 2. Let's change the linear color. The first color is white with the 100%. The second color is C, B, D, 0, D, 9. All right. Now let's select the Eclipse file. We will change the linear color. The first color is DD, E1, E7. The second color is F8, F, B, F, C. Okay, so we will move a little bit like this. So let's change this icon. Let's go in the right panel. Diamond here is for a component, so we can change here instead of searching in the asset. Use the echo here. Label color, change it for tertiary, and this text change for echo. For this button, we don't need this button effect yet, so I'm just going to hide this one. For my inactive button, I want this effect. All right. So let's duplicate this button. So let's repeat the steps. Go back to the main frame. We're going to auto layout section, click on the padding. We will change it for space between, and then we drag this one on spacing 25. It's fine, and the Y position it's 726. Congratulations guys, we finished the 2 screen. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and you learned a lot of new stuff today. And thank you very much for watching and stay until the end.